music. And then I'll let you go on your little rant. You can start the gay thing off. You can start off with why you think it's better as a simulator, and I'll help you on that one too. Where the hell's music? Oh, here it is.
There we go. Hey guys, now you can finally hear me. This is Chad and Tyler's Awesome Adventure. Today we're talking about WWE 2K20, why we both think it should be a simulation game over arcade. I'm the big wrestling fan, as you all know, and I don't bring wrestling onto this channel very much because we're horror. Means we're very scary people. We like horror more, but this is for one video that I'm going to start. Simulation game meaning I want more like a sports game where we get to draft the wrestlers, where we get to, pay-per-views. We get what we see on TV or on the pay-per-views or on the network. This is the first time I'm speaking and heard. I'm gonna like be Paul Heyman for once. This is not a spoiler. This is true life. To Tony, we need a simulation game because the arcade aspect brings too much glitchiness to the game. And we'll have glitchiness through the ropes, glitchiness through the Hell in a Cell, glitchiness in the Rumble. We don't need glitches. We need a real game. Madden, for example, one QB1. Take aspects of that from my career, and you've got the best my career mode we probably could have. Universe mode should be like the Ultimate Team in a way. The aspects of Ultimate Team into Universe mode would be perfect because then we do challenges, we would have shows, that's the way I would do it. But to him it seems like he wants arcade, he wants zombies, he wants rankings, he wants battle royales, he wants like Fire Pro Wrestling kind of game. Well, there you have it, Tony. You've got your Fire Pro Wrestling game. This is the World Wrestling Entertainment. This is not New Japan or AEW or even Impact, which I do like all companies. This is WWE. We have never had a simulation game ever. Close enough was 2K15. Was the closest thing we had to it. GMO needs to return. We need that. We need to have more controller-based compatibility in this game for the gamer to have all say, not the computer, not the game itself. We need more control, and that's what simulator will do for us. It will give the WWE into our hands. Us kind of being like Paul Levesque or Vince McMahon. Whoops, I said Vince. This might get taken down, I don't know. But we need to see that. Arcade is fun when we're, 7 to like 12. Arcade games are fun. We're both in our 30s. Late 30s, not early. And we want a game that will emulate what we see on in the product. Somewhat like UFC 3. There's another fighting game, sports fighting game, very similar, just realistic to fake. But I do believe if they went like UFC, we would have the best wrestling game in the world, coming from a wrestling fan. Like, I'll buy UFC every year because I know we're going to get a great simulation game. I bought Madden this year. Yes, there's glitches going out of its arse this year, but it's a simulation game that I can get behind. 2K20 right now is going on the right path. It has, I'll quickly state, it has no season pass. And yes, there's a big fault with the zombie mode. I hope they don't put a points thing. We have to beat zombies. It would be stupid. But something like that kills the realism of wrestling. No, it's not Call of Duty. No, it's not World War Z, which Tony wants in a wrestling game. I want realism. I want a game that will contail to what I like in sport, and that is realism. That is watching, like, I'd love them to have WWE Live, where that is, we get what happens in the real life in the game. We get to play, let's say, the Raw that we saw. Or we get to play the SmackDown, or NXT, or NXT UK, 205 Live, or we get that pay-per-view. We get to play those live, which I don't know if there's anything more in this game that's containing that, but I'd love to see that. I'd love to see the realistic WWE product that I've been wanting since I was a young adult. Seeing what we see on TV in the video game itself. We have like I know this year we're going to have Raw, we're going to have SmackDown, 205 Live, NXT, NXT UK. 5 brands all behind each other. If done right this year, Raw's on Monday night at 8 o'clock. It should tell you. SmackDown's on until 10. Then at 10 o'clock, right after SmackDown, is 205 Live on Tuesdays. Wednesdays is both NXTs. Nothing. Oh, wait, there's Superstars. Sorry, there is that. We just hope we get that in main event. So you got main event, Superstars, Raw, SmackDown, both NXTs. Excuse me, and 205 Live. There's 7 programs on the network and on TV. We need that in the game. I'm sorry, Tony, to say this, but we don't need zombies, superheroes, ghosts, goblins, stuff like that. We don't need that in the wrestling game. We need realism. I'm going to let my friend take over a bit because I finally got heard. And let's get his take on this because he is the UFC guy and he's got some great ideas that would make the game more simulation realism. I think that's the right way of putting it.
I would think so. I think for WWE, as my friend Tyler was saying here, a good thing that UFC 3 does with their story mode is it allows the player to do certain workouts or go and promote your fight and do press and things like that. This is things that I think would make a huge difference in a wrestling game, especially the workout aspect where if you have a big match coming up, let's say you're Roman Reigns fighting Daniel Bryan. So it'll show you working out and preparing for that fight, and it'll give you maybe a little vignette that'll show you Reigns and Daniel Bryan, the build-up of the rivalry. And then going forward, you would have more of a story-driven kind of wrestling story mode, which we've been missing for a long time. I think the last time we've had a really good story-driven wrestling game was probably with SmackDown 2.
It was
SmackDown versus Raw.
The first one.
Around there. That's how long it's been since we've had a really story-driven wrestling career mode where we're not going to alternate universes or fighting zombies or up in space talking to Matt Hardy and doing all kinds of stupid things that we did last year.
Actually, that...
You don't care, right?